Return to form.
Return to form. Small category.
These are, are we doing what, a top 2? Top 3?
No, we'll do top 5.
Top 5? We got it.
We just have to put it in the right order. So Daredevil season 3.
Yeah, season 2 was not good.
Walking Dead season 9. Serial season 3. Silicon Valley.
That's gonna go to the bottom. Walking Dead's got to go to the bottom.
Season 5.
Yes.
Haunting a Hill House of season 1.
Which is weird to say in Return to Form, I know.
Right.
But there's a rationale here.
There's been other hills haunts that have been housed. Okay, so you haven't finished Daredevil season 3, but
almost there, yeah.
Getting away from the fucking magic ninjas and getting back to the Kingpin gave this show a fucking enema. And crippling, kind of semi-crippling Matt's power by having him like just the immersion in water and just physical punishment that he underwent. And I think the Defenders, this is what happened at the end of the Defenders, or maybe it's what happened at the end of season 2 of Daredevil. I know a building fell on him, right? Yeah, I thought that was super. That was the interesting work. I thought they gave Foggy and Karen interesting like individual things to do, which they kind of struggled with in season 2. Yeah. Teaching Matt some valuable lessons about having to depend on people. I thought the second tier villain. What do you think of the second, like Bullseye? I thought he was pretty good. I think he's all right. I think his displays of power sort of came out of nowhere. Like they have one scene where he throws a baseball and like kills his coach or something. And then they just extrapolate on that when he becomes Daredevil, and like that was sort of out of nowhere for me. I was like, who is this guy and how can he possibly compete with Daredevil? And then I was like, oh, okay, he's some kind of weird superhero himself. I didn't realize he was Bullseye because I don't know my Daredevil lore, I guess, right? Or Marvel lore. So I once I realized what they were doing with him, I got like excited about it. So I guess you're right, that does come out of nowhere, but like by the time they got it, and I really liked how they introduced that with the Kingpin essentially reading his personnel file and and him analyzing his weaknesses and stuff. And you do that by just like seeing these vignettes and like the Kingpin like passively walking through and observe it. I thought that was a really good way to show, not tell, what was going on. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it was the most compelling part about that character was his battle with his mental problems, you know, his instabilities. Yeah. And, you know, that idea of the anchor leads perfectly into signing up as Kingpin's henchman. Right. And how, like, you manipulated him and his need for, like, love and acceptance and approval and all that. Well, and Kingpin's doing that with everybody. And what was really chilling is, like, I feel like that you're supposed to understand that that's Kingpin's weakness too, like that he like you know, like wanting his father to like love him and accept him, and he's weaponizing that against another human being is really chilling. And when Karen kind of gets under his skin a little bit, that scene is great. The Kingpin figuring out like the truth of the Daredevil's identity. Matt going back to the Blind Justice costume. Holy shit, that made this already twice as, because I hated the Daredevil costume. I still think it looks dumb. Is it the ears? It's just the ears, it's the eyes, it's just too, it's just not as cool as the Blind Justice outfit. Okay. But when he straps on the Muay Thai ropes, it makes his upper lip look a little dumb. It makes his face look smashed in. I feel like you're nitpicking a little bit. I mean, it's a costume. What do you want? That's all I can do. It's makes his lip look dumb. Yeah, it does. It does. It's got dumb ears. It's got dumb eyes. It's got dumb features. They should have just really workshopped the helmet. But I like him being back in the Blind Justice. I think this is one of the most spectacular fights I've seen in television. Return to form on that. Yeah. I mean, I like they lean into the stuff that we really loved about season 1 and the fighting here in season 3. And season 1 was all about bigger and better. The hallway fight. Season 2 is all about the staircase fight. Season 3 is about the super hallway fight. Yeah. and it's really good. It's really good. I can't think of, and this is like the one Netflix Marvel season where maybe there was an episode and a half of fat to trim. You could have trimmed, but I felt like giving some of that time to Foggy and Karen made those characters better. The one argument I saw is that the Karen episode is filler, but I thought it was pretty good filler.
The Karen? Which Karen
episode?
It's
like her standalone, going back to see how her brother died, like, because that's been a mystery that they've introduced in season 1. You know, that she was like a kind of hard partying, like drug hookup, and somehow she like got her brother killed.
Is that episode 9?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I missed a lot of that episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
is it also the same one where she confronts Kingpin?
I couldn't tell you because it's like I watched Daredevil like the week it came out. I was pretty. Okay. I saw the trailer and I'm like, fuck, this looks hot. And the first 3 episodes were super hot. I liked how they got a little bit into Matt's backstory and his mom and dad. It's just again I thought Elektra was a shitty Elektra, and I thought the mystical ninja shit was boring, and this stuff is good.
Yeah,
return to form.
Yeah, I love Fisk's whole simultaneous political and criminal battle.
Yeah,
that he's just playing every side of it, and it all feels so natural. This FBI agent who I didn't like at first, the main one.
Yeah.
Not the crazy one.
Right.
The one who gets just kind of pushed down this horrible path that he's powerless to resist.
Yeah, and everyone that Kingpin buys off, that's one of the things I thought was brilliant. The fact that, this isn't like The Wire where people is bought with money. These are people that are manipulated into situations where it's like you either have to accept a huge personal loss or or you're going to, go along with the Kingpin. And he hits you really hard where it hurts. And I felt very bad for all the agents that get kind of, caught up in his web. So I thought that was handled very well too. And it made Kingpin look legitimately smart. And there's a couple things where I thought oh, Matt's finally going to outsmart him. Nah, you don't outsmart the Kingpin.
Yeah.
You got to beat him, and you got to use it. You got to beat him as a team too. You can't take him down lone wolf style. And I thought that was pretty smart.
Yep.
I did think there was a couple hokey things like Foggy's political career, those stunts,
some of the speeches and stuff. Yeah.
I felt like they were good, but I wanted to see the other guy fight back a little bit. It's like Foggy just comes over and takes his fundraiser over, announces his campaign, and at what point does he just okay, get him out of here, shut him off, cut his microphone? What the fuck? That never happened. I thought that was a little bit. The Citizen Foggy was material that was a little bit outside this guy's grasp to handle, and not particularly well written either.
Yeah,
but I really like Karen. Yeah, it's another bummer that Deborah Ann Wool are not going to get to see her for God knows until the next True Blood or Daredevil comes along. I really like her, and I don't. Yeah, I was sad when she was off True Blood. I was really happy to see her land on her feet in Daredevil, and I hope I can see her in something else real soon. Maybe season 10 of.
I've never heard of that show.
Jesus Christ!
Nope, still not recognizing.
Maybe season 10 of The Walking Dead.
Season 10 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
Do you want to mark that on the auto recording at least?
No.
Seriously? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay, fine. What am I going to do with the video?
I just want to blow people's eardrums out.
Well, what am I going to do with the video?
The video's the video, man. The video's got the visual interest of me sneezing. All right,
well, you didn't finish your thought. Your sneeze interrupted your thought.
No, I'm going to be sad that Deborah Ann. Well, maybe she can get in the new Penny Dreadful. That'd be kind of cool too.
Penny Dreadful, okay.
No, she's got that classic.
Are they going to reboot that?
Yeah, they're going to. I don't know how. It seems. It seems, but
Netflix will pick it back up.
No,
It'll
Showtime's
rescue.
going to. They're just doing a new series. It's a totally different time.
The fuck? Didn't they just cancel this?
They canceled like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a different time setting. It's a different location. It's now going to be like on the West Coast of America instead of the Victorian era horror was a good genre. I don't know about the American early 20th century horror, how that's going to work, but so anything else to say about Daredevil?
No.
The Walking Dead season 9. You haven't seen any of this.
What is this? What is this show?
This is The Walking Dead. And when I say return to form, I'm not saying it got good. I'm saying that The Walking Dead was capable.
That it was always bad, and it got bad again.
Was capable of taking a step forward and doing new dramatic things and moving characters forward and being and being entertaining and having logically consistent like set pieces and stuff that actually had human interest and dramatic possibilities, and it wasn't just Rick and fucking Negan trading barbs and shots and punches. So I watched the first 4 episodes of season 9 and immediately regretted we didn't cover it. So that's a pretty good return to form.
Has there been an episode that's as good as the pilot?
Oh God, no.
Okay, well then.
No, but it's a return
I don't know
to
that
season.
you could argue it's a return.
It's a return to season like the heyday of seasons 3 and 5, where
God.
you could string together 4 or 5 good episodes and good arcs together. But I also didn't finish it, so maybe it fell to shit at the halfway point. Serial season 3.
I haven't heard this yet.
So Serial season 1 caught everyone's imagination. Kind of like I feel like it gets the appropriate amount of credit for like rebooting true crime and doing some interesting things with it
and bringing podcasts to the mainstream, honestly.
Right. And season 2 was a bit of a mess because she had essentially all this footage of Bo Bergdahl interviews that the guy behind the Jinx had done, and she didn't have a season 2, a conventional season 2 for Serial, so she just kind of went out with that. And it's kind of a mess and disjointed. I will defend the second half of that season because I think the kind of the geopolitical big picture it gave about like our involvement in Afghanistan and the Middle East was worthwhile, and I learned a lot of stuff about it, but it didn't strike people in the right way. And season 3 is an interesting. It went back to the legal system, but instead of it taking a one case, she looked and like did a year in the Cleveland, Ohio court system and looked at like routine assault cases and drug cases and how the criminal justice system fails in systemic ways rather than individual particular ways. And crucially, because like Adnan came from a wealthy family that had a good defense, like what happens when you're relying on public defenders, and it was fascinating. Like if you haven't heard season 3 and you think that the American criminal justice system is a fascinating thing to examine and one of the ways that we can like improve society, like it gives a lot of like concrete. I had a lot of concrete takeaways of why the system is not as great as it could be and how we could probably fix it. So yeah, I thought it was a great return to form. Silicon Valley. Season 4 wasn't funny. Season 5 was.
Okay. I have a hard time remembering the last few seasons of Silicon Valley, which tells me that I'm kind of losing interest in Silicon Valley.
I think everyone is losing interest in Silicon Valley, and I think that are we getting another, like if we get another year, like how many years does this thing continue to come back? And
I'm hoping this will be the last one if they do another one. Which they probably will.
But it's like, I don't know, they're still making Ballers, and I actually was into that show, but I like at somewhere in season 3, I'm like, whoa, fuck, there's a whole other season. Like I didn't even, I think there's another one coming out tomorrow. Like there's 7 seasons of Ballers, and I've seen 2.5 somehow and missed the others.
Right.
But yeah, it's whatever. Now, Haunting of House Hill.
Haunting of Hill House is an interesting one because it's a season 1. It's a debut for the show, right? How could it possibly be returned form? So this is yet another remake of the original House on Haunted Hill, which is a movie from like the 1940s or something, which kind of told this original cinematic haunted house story.
Yeah.
And it has over the years been remade probably 5 times. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's an original novel that came out in the 60s, and there was a film adaptation in 1963, which I guess
was that late? Holy shit!
Was technically sophisticated for its day and well received. And in 1999, and they were both called The Haunting, but it's all about this novel. And I haven't seen the 1963 version, but the 1999 version was slick and certainly special effects sophisticated. I remember a lot of like really jaw-dropping scenes, but not
the Catherine Zeta-Jones one.
Yeah, not super great.
Yeah, not super great. And I feel like, resurrecting that franchise, if you can call it that, I guess is a sort of return to form. And Haunting of Hill House is actually pretty good. So I'm pretty comfortable calling this a return to form, calling this another in a string of remakes that sort of makes it a weird return to form.
I feel like we really want to talk about being up on Daredevil, and I want to talk about Serial and kind of acknowledge that we maybe ejected on Walking Dead a season too soon, and then we came up with 2 other things to justify the category.
We ejected on Walking Dead a season too soon, and also 3 seasons too late.
Yeah, we could have bailed 4 seasons ago with a truly clear conscience.
Right.
But okay, so are we Daredevil wins this category, right?
Yeah, it has to. I mean, I didn't like Daredevil season 2 very much at all, and season 3 has been awesome.
If I guess I would probably put these in this kind of order if someone put a gun to my head and made me sort these ridiculous categories. So there,
okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, my only thing would be maybe Hill House goes above Silicon Valley, because I see the word Silicon Valley and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a funny show that I watch when it's on. I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, but The Haunting is it came out over 20 years ago, and it barely has anything to do with the novel. It wasn't a literal adaptation of it. Of course, neither was The Haunting of Hill House. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like these bottom 2 are kind of bullshit.
I mean, by that token, The Haunting
and Silicon were kind of they're just here to make us into having 5 things we could talk about.
I think we could add a 6th if you want to.
What?
Lost in Space, but you haven't seen it.
Oh,
because Lost in Space shit the bed. It was a cool
shit,
1950
I forgot.
show.
Okay, I was like, it's a 1950 show. Who gives a fuck?
No, it's also a 1990s.
No, you're right.
1990s. Matt LeBlanc, Lacey Chabert, fucking
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman
is the
played
bad guy.
Yeah, Agent Smith. No, Dr. Smith.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah, that was a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad movie. And I didn't feel like Lost in Space, the Netflix reboot, is actually bad. So, maybe that belongs on Return to Form. I don't know.
I say no, because then we'd have 6, and that's ridiculous. So let's cut it. Let's hope for the return to form category will return to form next year.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got a few big ones that might end up on there. You want to recap the list?
Yeah, we have Daredevil season 1 as number 1, Serial season 2 number 2, Serial season 3 number 2 rather, Silicon Valley season 5 as 3, Haunting of Hill House that's 4, and Walking Dead season 9A at number 5.
All right.